Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing my monthly favorites, and I know I've dragged on it this month, but I've been so busy. No excuses. Let's skip the excuses. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the items that I've been loving this month. I really thought about skipping, but I'm like, no, these are worth talking about. Let's do it. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is this Cosmetic blush highlighter duo in Buzzkill. This is such a beautiful peachy highlighter. It has a beautiful golden sheen to the cheeks, and it's so beautiful on really any skin tone. Like, I think that of the three shades it came out with, this is probably the most universal shade, and the packaging is stunning. Like, you're getting great quality for a very reasonable price because this pan is huge. Highly recommend this. Let's talk Charlotte Tilbury. The Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, which as you guys can see I have used up quite a bit, is amazing. This stuff locks your makeup in place. It really just seals everything. Your makeup will wear better. It will really hold up under any kind of climate, because I've used this on some of our last hot days in Chicago. I've used this in humidity. I've used this on days where I'm hustling and bustling and just sweating. And I've even had my makeup on while working out with this on. And let me tell you, at the end of the workout, it still looks really good. So this really does work. It's fantastic. It's a little on the pricey side, but I'm telling you guys, it's totally worth it. Let's stick to Charlotte. So the Airbrush Flawless Foundation, you guys have seen me talk about this before, but this is a new shade for me. This is 7.5. This has more of a peachy, warm undertone, where 8 is a solid warm shade. And I have to say, I really like the peachy undertones because my undertone is definitely neutral warm. I don't have any cool undertones, but I tend to lean towards the neutral shades, and I don't know why I just didn't get 7.5 from the get-go, because I do recall I got it in the sample size. For whatever reason, I thought it was too light, but I'm loving it right now. And that foundation is fantastic. We're gonna talk Fenty. So I bought one of their little lip gloss thingamajiggies. And I've used quite a bit of it, and this is in Vintage Rose. It's just a beautiful rose shade. It makes your lips look very glossy and juicy, and it keeps your lips very hydrated, which is why I have been loving it, because my lips have been feeling a little bit more on the dry side. But I especially love this with the Esom Cosmetics lip liner. This is the one that has like the nude set and then the dark, like vampy berry shade. It's the dual lip pencil in plum. So I use it with this guy here, and oh my gosh, does it make my lips look full and plump and just magical. So I really have been loving this combination. The other Fenty product I want to talk about is her matchsticks. So the one that I really have been using the most is the contour shade, and this is in the shade Truffle. I have been using this a ton. You guys really can't see, but it's pretty much flat. And the reason is because Mama's got a little bit of extra weight. I mean, I don't know what happened, but these matchsticks are just fantastic. Like, they blend out beautifully. They're very pigmented, but you can sheer them out. Like, they're so user-friendly. I love that you can lock them together because they're magnetized. Now, what I will tell you is that Sephora, I don't know why, has the trios on sale. And so let me show you the other shades that come in here. I have Rum, which I've used this also quite a bit. I love this just to kind of pop it on top of my blush or bronzer. As you guys can see, it just gives you a really pretty golden peachy shade. Like, I can take this now and pop it on top of what I have on and it would look pretty. And then this has Caramel. The set that I got is Plum. So this one I guess I do use them all quite a bit. This one, this is supposed to be like your concealer shade. To be honest with you guys, I don't use it as a concealer because this formula is a little dry, especially for the under eye. For my face, it's not a big deal. It blends out beautifully. It's creamy, but for under your eyes, it is a little bit of a drier formula and it will enhance lines or any texture, so I just steer away from that. But I have used this to kind of freshen up my makeup, so if I feel like my makeup has worn around my mouth or nose area, I'll just take a little bit and call it a day. I do have another melt product, and this is Spliff Gel Liner. This stuff is amazing. This is like the most beautiful, rich brown shade. It's so deep that you really can't distinguish if it's a brown or a black, but when you compare it to a black liner, you can definitely see that it is softer. I like this shade because for me, I find that black can look a little intense and harsh, considering that I don't wear like a full-blown, you know, makeup every day. But on days where maybe I want to do a little bit of liner, or I just kind of want to add a little bit of definition to my eyes, I'll go in with this because it's just soft enough to where it's not too overpowering or dark, but it just gives me the right amount of definition. I've got another contour product in here. This is in deep brown, and it is a paint stick by MAC. I got this years ago. I was at one of their master classes and Romero was presenting, and he used this to contour the face of the model that he was using. This is very pigmented. It is one of those products that is going to require you to blend it out. It's really going to put you to work in terms of blending it out. If you use less than this, where if you do like a little thin stripe like that, you can build it up. But going in with like a full-blown stripe, you are going to have to work at blending it because it is very pigmented. So I want to take a moment and recognize a brand that I have been using now for a few months, and it's Janet and Joe. This is the color I have on my nails. It is a beautiful bright royal blue, and I love me a good royal blue. This is called Russell's Blue, and this brand is just a beautiful brand that really prides itself in being family oriented, in you know, honoring and respecting their customers. Like, their customer service is just impeccable, and the owner is super sweet. I bought quite a bit of their nail polishes, and if you go on my Instagram, you'll see that I've featured a few of their shades, but this has got to be one of my favorite shades ever, which is why I'm showing it to you guys, and it's just stunning. It's so pigmented. It's very like, even the first layer is pigmented enough to where you get almost full opacity, but it just looks so inky, and it's perfection. Like, it is such a good color and great formula. I highly recommend them. Check them out. I've got another contour color thing. I told you guys I'm packing a little extra weight. This is Blunt. This is a blush by MAC. It looks like I haven't been using it, but because you really need to go light-handed with this product. I like to take a brush and literally just lightly dip in. So like, pick up a little bit. There's hardly anything on there. And then I like to work this into the back of my face, just because it makes my face look a little bit more sculpted. And this is actually a blush. This is not even part of their contouring line, but I like to use it as a contour shade. And already my face looks a little bit more chiseled, a little smaller. You can use this as a blush, and it resembles Shiso LA with just maybe a little bit more of a like a sunburned finish. It's a beautiful blush. Can we talk Rare Beauty? Rare Beauty knocked it out of the park with their products. I have their foundation in the shade 320W and their concealer in 310W. I think, you know, now having played with it, I know for a fact I could go a little lighter in the foundation. My guess would probably be like a 290, because I think they don't have a 310. But that's what it looks like. It is such a beautiful, thin, full coverage formula, and it wears really beautifully. It doesn't feel like you have anything on your skin. It really is a beautiful line. You can tell that she put a lot of time and effort into designing it and creating it, and honestly, she did a fantastic job. Her concealer is probably one of my favorites right now. It's so hydrating. It looks glowy under the eyes. And when I say glowy, I don't mean like you're going to have like sparkles or a sheen under your eye. It just looks very hydrated, like when you apply your eye cream. And I think that this is a beautiful line that any age can wear. That's the concealer there, and as you guys can see, it has a sheen to it in comparison to the foundation. It really is a beautiful product. Again, the packaging, everything, she killed it. I have a mascara. The Charlotte Tilbury Push Up Lashes has been the only mascara that I have been using since I got this, and I think I've had it for a little over a month. The only thing I will say is that I'm out of it already. So I noticed it started to get a little dry, and I put some Duraline, Inglot Duraline in the actual packaging, and it made it a little bit more workable. It wasn't as dry, and I like a dry formula because I feel like it builds up beautifully. But even after doing that and then using it a little bit longer, it's already dry again. So I'm pretty sure that I'm like fully out of it. But guys, I love this mascara so much. It literally holds the curl to my lash, and that's it. I don't use a curler. It just gives my lash a natural curl. It holds it in place. It does not flake. It builds beautifully. You can comb through your lashes. Like, this is probably my favorite mascara ever. I have a backup of it, but I think I'm gonna play with the Fenty one just to see how they compare. But I really love this mascara. I highly recommend it. If you're on the fence about it or curious about it, I highly recommend this. It does take some time to get used to in terms of applying it. It can get a little messy in the beginning, but once you get into your own rhythm, it's perfection. Okay, so I have two MAC products. The first one is my Lay Low Paint Pot. I use this every single time I do eyeshadow. This is my go-to right now. And as you guys can see, I have a nice little divot, and it is just the perfect shade for me. Like I said, my skin is more on the neutral side, and Soft Ochre was too light and it just looked really bright. Bare Study, I think, is the other one that was, again, same thing. When I discovered Lay Low, it was just the perfect match for my skin tone. I could literally use this to apply on my lid on days where I'm not wearing anything. It just gives me the blank canvas that maybe I want. So I love it. If you are medium tan or tan, I think you guys should really look into this because I hardly hear anyone talking about Lay Low, but this is my favorite. The other MAC product I'm going to talk about, maybe it's a little bit of a cheat because I just got it, but let me show you. VG26, holy moly, this color just rocked my world. This was a collaboration with Rosalia, who is a Latin artist. Her music is a fusion of flamenco, urban, reggaeton, just very like Latin inspired music. I love her. I think she's so cool, edgy, super talented. Like, I love her. So when I saw that she was releasing a lipstick, I'm like, that's all. I just need to see her. That's it. Done. And I pre-ordered it. I knew that it was going to be a red. It was obvious that it was going to be a red, but I never imagined it was going to be this red. And I love it. I am a sucker for a good cherry red or a good orange red, and this is like both got together and had an awesome baby. And check this out. I love it. Of course, the MAC Viva Glam lipstick line donates 100% of their proceeds. So every lipstick sale goes directly to the MAC AIDS Fund, and it is just an amazing organization that has donated a lot of money. I want to say it's over $300 million or $500 million, one of those. But regardless, at the end of the day, they've donated a lot. It has done a lot for people who have been impacted by HIV/AIDS. it's a great cause. It's a good way to splurge and treat yourself, and at the same time do something good. The last two items I want to talk about, which by the way, I'm resisting talking about two other MAC products. I think I'm going to leave those for next month. But recently, MAC and I were rekindling our love. Anyway, Huda Beauty Concealer. I have the shade Macadamia, and this is a beautiful shade for anyone that is medium tan and is looking, I would say medium tan and tan, even dark complexions, like really anybody that's looking for more of a peachy undertone concealer, and someone that maybe is looking for something that's closer to their shade and not really interested in brightening. I love this concealer. I love that she has the metal applicator, because it does feel very cooling under the eyes. This is just a little lighter than my skin tone, but it has, again, that peachy undertone so that I don't need to go into with a corrector. So I love this stuff. I've been actually pulling for this quite a bit because Mama's got dark circles. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the baby of the bunch. This is the Nars Soft Matte Foundation. This is what it looks like, and mine is in Barcelona. I am so tempted to buy this foundation because this is probably the longest wearing foundation that I own. It is very thin in formulation. It's super pigmented, and a little bit goes a long way. To tell you that I've used this foundation more than a handful of times, and I still have maybe 1 or 2 uses out of it, and I'm trying to be selective about when I use it. But it is such a beautiful foundation on days where I have long days and maybe I'm going to be in Zoom meetings or conferences, and I know that it's just going to be like back to back. This is what I want to wear because I know that I don't have to worry about it going anywhere. And this literally just sets itself, so you don't have to go in with a powder. It sets itself. It looks like you have powder on when you don't. It's so lightweight, you don't detect it. It's amazing. So I highly recommend this to somebody that maybe is really oily or someone that is combination. I don't think this would work for someone that is dry and has texture, because I feel like it would just enhance, like it literally sets. The best way I can describe it is if you were to take hairspray, a lot of hairspray, and then dry it with a blow dryer, and you would have that crunchy look. I feel like that's what this would do, because it literally just like sticks to your face and it doesn't go anywhere. So I highly recommend this. I really love it. But again, I think that if you're dry or have texture, acne scarring, you know, deep lines, this is probably not for you. But anyone else, it's amazing. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you're loving this month. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I do upload 3 videos a week. And lastly, don't forget to like this video, as it does help my channel. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.